Welcome back to the It's Not So Late show. And today we are joined by Ron Jackson, legendary jazz musician, specializes in 7 and 6 string guitars. Ron, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
I guess my first question for you is, I see your guitar has 7 strings. How did you get into playing 7-string guitars, and how difficult is it to find and tune 7-string guitars?
You know, I was studying with this great jazz guitarist who passed away actually about almost a year ago from COVID. He was my guitar teacher.
Oh,
His name was Bucky Picciarelli.
okay.
And so, you know, I was studying swing jazz guitar with him. And then he always asking me, you know, telling me, well, saying, you know, you should take up 7-string guitar. So after about, I'd say about maybe about quite a while, like maybe 7 years or 10 years after, I decided to start you know, playing 7-string guitar. So I've been playing it for about 8-9 years now.
Wow. So like, I guess my question is, how does a 7-string play differently from like a 6-string guitar?
My guitar is tuned with a standard E, A, D, G, B, E tuning with a low A.
Okay.
So it doubles my 5th string. Now, normally in jazz, well, in rock, they tune to a low B.
Okay.
And in Brazilian music, 7-string guitars I'm talking about, they tune to a low C, which is this note. So when I actually picked up the guitar, I bought one. Bucky, you know, my teacher said, don't tune to a low B, tune to a low A. I was like, why? Because, you know, that's because it doubles your A string. And the other famous 7-string jazz guitarist that was around, that was well known in jazz, was George Van Epps. He played the 7-string with a low A. And so that's how Bucky, you know, got the idea to tune it this way.
So is Bucky? Go ahead.
Yeah. So no, it's great. I have a real low note. I can play really cool chords with low note.
So was Bucky one of the first to kind of coin that 7-string tuning, or were there others before him who used that similar tuning?
No, it was George Van Epps. I told you. And,
George Van Epps. Okay.
I don't know about the 7-string guitars existed for centuries. I heard though.
They have.
You know, but it's more known actually in progressive rock. You know what they call extended range instruments. So like 8-string guitars, 7-string guitars are usually used in progressive rock and rock bands. You know, one of my favorite guitarists is an 8-string guitar player named Tosin Abasi from Animals as Leaders. And that guy's a bad dude. He plays all kinds of crazy, you know, stuff on the guitar. So I go with him, you know.
So speaking of that, I know you studied at the Berkeley Music Institute. So how did that help you with your music career? Were you able to meet anybody there who changed your life, or learn anything specific that helped you later on in life?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot of stuff there. I mean, I learned how to read and arrange, and I was a composition and arranging major, jazz.
You were.
And I learned how to read. There's a lot of people I still know from Berkeley. I saw some great workshops, like famous guitarists like Joe Pass, this jazz guitar player. Yeah, it was good. I mean, I learned how to notate, all kinds of stuff. You know, reading was really important to me. You know, arranging for bands, recording, everything. It was really good. You know, as well as meeting people there.
Right. So arranging for bands, what goes into that? Are you arranging all the instrument pieces? So drums, guitars, piano, everything? Or are you just doing the guitars?
No, everything.
Okay.
I used to arrange for big bands.
Can you name a couple of those?
Huh?
Can you name a couple of bands you were arranging for?
Oh no, I mean, when I was at Berkeley, I arranged, and I arranged for a couple of big bands. One, I didn't pursue it too much, but I had some commissions quite a while ago for a big band in Finland.
Really? So how did they find you? That's so cool.
I was performing over there.
Oh, you were? Okay. So have you done a world tour then before?
Yeah, I've toured everywhere. You know, I played everywhere, different countries and stuff like that.
Do you have any specific memories of like gigs or shows or countries that you did that you liked?
I played. Oh man, I love going to Australia, Japan, Switzerland, Spain. You know, those countries. Where else have I been? I've been to so many countries. You know, I can't think of it. You know, I played mostly European countries, Eastern Europe, a couple. You know, Bulgaria, Belarus,
Wow.
Israel,
Oh my gosh.
Turkey, Lebanon, Morocco, Algeria,
Oh my
Tunisia.
gosh.
You know, there's a bunch of countries. I mean, I want to go to Black Africa. Not
Now,
that
were you touring these countries playing jazz music, like as Ron Jackson, or were you playing maybe with a band or opening for
I'll
a
play a
band?
couple bands. Sometimes I would go by myself. It just depends. I've been to Lebanon. That was interesting.
Can you tell a little bit about that?
Which country?
Lebanon, you said that was interesting. What was interesting about
Oh,
playing in
yeah,
Lebanon?
like it was actually about maybe 15 years ago when you were probably about 5. Anyway, what happened was I was, someone said I had this a gig there. This guy booked a club there. So there's a club called the Blue Note Club,
Okay.
not like Blue Note Jazz Club in New York. And it was interesting. It was an interesting city because it was like they had a civil war there.
Right.
Right after that, not too long before. So it was like all shot out buildings and
Oh my gosh.
like bullet ridden buildings and really nice parts too, of course.
Right.
And it was just like a mixture of like severe poverty to rich rich people. Like the guy who ran the president of the country was like a billionaire,
Oh
and
my
the
god.
country's mostly poor. It's it's kind of a wild scene over there. It's the Middle East. It used
Wow.
to be like a really sprawling city, but back in the day, I don't know when, but and, I was scared too. It was not too long after 9/11,
Oh.
and
Right.
it was interesting, and I met some good friends there. And but that was the interesting part. There was always like if you drive around the country, there's like soldiers with machine guns
Wow.
and weird stuff. A lot of corruption and weird stuff over there. There's corruption here,
Oh yeah.
not
So
like
is it different too, like the playing in different countries versus playing here in the United States? Is there just different aspect of the performance?
well, in a different country. I think there's a lot more. You know, they're excited to see people, from America or wherever coming to the country. So yeah, you're more exotic, and they like you know overseas musicians. So yeah, there's a different feel there. There's more appreciation in some ways.
Right. Right. Now, what was your favorite, or what is, but because I'm sure in COVID you're probably not touring around as much. What is your favorite part about doing live shows and interacting with your fans?
Well, it's just that interacting with fans. Having some kind of like response, people watching you, talking to people.
That is,
I don't know what you've been doing, but it's kind of hard to sit at home and do these live streams and interviews, podcasts.
I agree, but I think it's opened up a lot of doors, though.
Like I do a live stream every Sunday.
Oh, you do? On which, what platform?
On Instagram.
Instagram? And your
So it's called
Instagram is,
Sunday. Yep.
it's at Ron Jackson, correct? Ron Jackson Music.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
have like a guest tomorrow night. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually every Sunday.
Interesting. What do you guys talk about on the show? So in case people listening here may want to join your show on,
We talk. I have so I have jazz musicians. All kinds. From vocalists to guitar players to people in the industry. So they talk about whatever they basically promote themselves, and I ask them what the new project is or whatever, and then they perform a song,
ooh, I like that.
and that's it. And
Speaking of, go ahead.
go ahead.
Speaking of new projects, do you have any new projects you've been working on?
Oh yeah, like for example, if everybody's interested, So I have this book that just came out last year called Chords of Your Fingertips,
Ooh,
and I write for Acoustic Guitar Magazine, and I'm a writer for them. And this book is released from Hal Leonard and Acoustic Guitar Magazine. If you're interested in getting this book, it's they've been selling like hotcakes on my website because this week I'm offering a 25% discount on everything on my website from sheet music to CDs,
ooh,
and because I'm celebrating 25,000 followers on Instagram.
that's amazing. So how long have you been on Instagram for?
Quite a while. I mean, I've probably been on Instagram for 4 or 5 years, but I never really did much with Instagram till like really until the pandemic. So
Right.
I probably had 6 or 7 thousand followers. I think going into September, but suddenly it just started taking off.
Wow. And
And I'm
Instagram,
staying around 25,000 right now. You know,
Instagram's a hard platform to grow on too. I've tried. It's interesting you figured out the secret to growing on Instagram. That can be
I know, but on TikTok I'm doing pretty good too. I mean, I've only been on TikTok since July, but I mean, I have about 20, almost 26,000 on TikTok. I did fast. I went faster on TikTok.
yeah, that's what I've noticed too. A lot of people grow on TikTok. And in case people want to join, is it at Ron Jackson Music as well on TikTok?
Yeah. So you can find me on all platforms at Ron Jackson Music: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, um, anywhere.
I saw
All
on I saw on TikTok you were going to the Guitar Center. Can you tell our audience a little bit about what you do going into different music stores on your social media accounts?
Well, I just go basically when I go to these stores, I'm just there to check out the equipment. I was particularly going to Guitar Center just so I needed a new amp.
Okay.
What happened was I had a warranty on one of my amps. I have a Bulgara in this, and after a gig, I actually had a gig, like a couple of gigs actually at the end of the year last year. It was making this weird noise, and I sent it in, and I looked inside the amp before I sent it in. It was a broken speaker.
Oh no.
And what happened was I sent it, and they sent it back because it was okay. And I looked in there, it was still a broken speaker. So I sent the speaker by itself, and I had a warranty, a paid warranty. And basically, they said they couldn't fix it, so they just sent me the money for the amp.
Wow. Yeah, Guitar Center is great on that. Is I buy my equipment from there, and their warranty program's wonderful.
Yeah, what happened was like I got these complaints like on my post, like Guitar Center, I would never go in there. They shut down the mom and pop stores. I said that's fine. I mean, but I mean, I get good deals in there.
Right.
I get good deals anyway. I mean, I actually have a lot of endorsements. So.
Do you? Who are you endorsed by? If you're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah. Peterson Tuners, Eastman Guitars, Labella Strings, Seymour Duncan Pickups, Moody Straps, Henriksen Amps, and I have a lot. And I'm also an influencer, so like at Henriksen, if you want to buy an amp from them, I have a discount code. You can save 5% on the amps if you go there. And yeah, and if you just say when you check out code Ron Jackson, I have an Amazon. I'm an Amazon influencer too.
Oh, you are.
Store. Also, I'm a skull shaver.
What is that? I'm not familiar with that.
Skull shaver is a shaver. I don't have one with me.
Oh, like literal shaver. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not bald, but I use a style. Where it's for shaving. Basically. Right. So I get I have a 10% discount code for people every month or so. The code changes because someone steals it, and that's a pretty big. It's a pretty big company. Where and I get a good deal from them from selling the razors using my discount code.
That's awesome.
I do all kinds of stuff.
That's cool. I do want to talk a minute about guitars since you do. We talked about it a little bit, but you do play 7-string guitars. So can you talk about maybe what guitars you do have and what the difference between a 7-string guitar, other than the tuning, is versus a 6-string? Because I'm assuming the neck is going to be slightly thicker.
Slightly wider.
Oh, wider. That's the word. Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing about 7-string, you can play like low bass lines, those really low notes you can't do on a 6-string. The lowest note on the 6-string is this note, but I can go. This is the same note here.
Oh.
I could go. That's the E string, and then I can go to E flat, D, D flat, C, B, B flat, A. I can play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes lower than a guitar like that.
Wow, that's really cool. And with jazz, I'm sure that gives you a whole window of new options now, since jazz, a lot of it's about improv and working with the notes. So is that a true statement that you do have now a wider range when it comes to doing like live?
What's called an extended range instrument.
Man, so my next question for you is guitar the only instrument that you play, or do you play other instruments as well?
I play bass too, and I can play some drums, a little piano,
a
little harmonica. I mean, yeah, I don't practice those things though.
Right.
I mean, I really just do. I mean, I play guitar mainly.
Right.
And I need to practice guitar actually more than I general too.
So what's your go-to for practice? Do you have like a specific like routine that you like to do to like, or maybe like a warm up for a gig that you do?
I mean, I have some of those on TikTok. You know, I have little extra, little tremolo, things like that, and then like you know, little exercise. I don't do them that fast usually. I do them real slow usually. You know, or they're just like finger,
Right.
literally numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 2. You know, like little exercises, warm up exercises, chord exercises. I have all these. I want to actually write these out, put them on my website. So that's another thing I wanted to announce today for all my fans on your show, because you might be the next, you know, Jimmy Kimmel or something.
Oh, thank you. You know, it's funny you say that because I hate to interrupt you, but my dream is to be like a talk show host. Because I don't want to do what like Jimmy Kimmel does, where they bring in A-listers, right? They're bringing on, you know, like Katie, all these people that have already made the national, international spot. I want to give shout outs to people like yourself, right? You know, where you're doing something amazing. But some people, you know, may not be familiar with your name, and I want you to have the opportunity to tell your story. That's why I invite people like yourself on, because you're doing something amazing. But yeah, what is your announcement?
You know, I told you I had 25,000 followers on Instagram, so I'm celebrating with 25% off my website. So one of the things I added to my page was printable music.
Ooh.
You know, so basically I have lessons. So, you know, I do a lot of teaching too. But, you know, and over the years, I have all these lessons that are proven to, you know, to help your playing.
Right.
So I'm starting to sell them as downloadable printables.
Oh, okay.
And they've been selling like hotcakes, man.
Are they really?
You can buy a lesson as little as $2.
Oh man, that's awesome. So what do you teach in your lessons? You have are you teaching jazz, or are you just teaching general
Well,
music?
all kinds of stuff. So I have 6-string, 7-string lessons. So I have less of the 7-string because I've been doing that a lot less. I mean, I have less lessons for that.
Right.
So I have like, you know, I have scales, you know, the important skills you should learn. I have arrangements for 6-string guitar, and I'm going to be doing for 7-string. You know, like jazz arrangements, like songs like "Fly Me to the Moon."
Oh, that's beautiful.
So, you know, that kind of stuff. So I mean, I have arrangements like that. I have, you know, like the exercises I showed you, like the warm-up exercises. You know, solos written out so people learn how to improvise.
That's cool. Do you have a favorite song to play? Do you have like a song that like you just love, or if you're live, that's like a go-to when someone's like, play me a song, and then you just pick that song, or you just kind of pick whatever first comes to mind?
Well, I mean, sometimes I pick songs I'm working on, or I pick a song that, like if I do my Sunday evening jazz shows, usually I try to think about songs I want to play it or haven't played in a long time. There's some of these songs I'm trying to work on. So, because you asked me the question earlier, so what, you know, what do you do when you practice? Usually I practice things I can't do. That's what a lot of people just practice like, oh, they'll practice their C chord over here, and they go back the next day, practice the same C chord. You know,
Right.
you're not supposed to practice like that. You're supposed
How?
to practice what you can't do.
Right. I like
So,
that.
yeah, I mean that's what you're really supposed to do, because why practice things you already know how to do?
That's
I
true.
do that all the time. You only practice what you can't do. I mean, I'm always practicing songs I'm always trying to learn. But when I'm playing a gig, or you know, when I'm doing a performance, I always try to pick songs I know. You know, and it depends. There's so many songs I love. You know, there's no real go-to song. I mean, some of the songs like it just depends. Um,
Now, was that one of your own songs?
No, that's a jazz standard called "I Could Care."
I could care.
I haven't played it in a long time. It's so weird to play the 7-string guitar. I have to position myself to hit the notes sometimes. I have to move around. You see, I'm moving around. Sometimes I'm trying to like maneuver around this thing.
Really?
Still.
So when you're
Yeah.
playing live at a gig, is it usually just you, or do you have an accompaniment of a band?
I mean, I can play any situation. So I'm usually, I mean, when I have my own band, it's just like guitar, bass, and drums usually.
Yeah, so it's a jazz band.
And then if I'm playing with other bands, then I'm gonna be playing like sometimes, I mean, like next week I have a gig for a church.
Really?
So yeah, no, I play churches sometimes. So they'll send me the music and it's just gonna be solo guitar.
Wow, that's awesome. So
they'll send me the music and I try to memorize it, even though I'm a good reader, and because I'll be playing the melody and playing the chords and everything at the same time, you know.
wow. So
You know,
go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
Okay, I was going to ask you if is it going to be a 7-string or a 6-string gig for the church? 7-string.
Yeah, because you know it's really good for solo guitar playing, like I just did.
Yeah, you have a whole.
It's really good for playing by yourself, like this, you know. So you can do what's really cool about 7-string, you can do a lot of melodies, you know, and accompany yourself basically.
Do a lot of people often ask you, like at gigs, or if you're doing like a small, like a bar show or something, do they ever ask you, do you request for like, oh, can you cover this song or that song?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if I know it, I'll try. You know, can
And
you play? Oh yeah, I forgot that chord. Anyway, no, I mean, you know, I don't want to do "Sweet Home Alabama," but on a jazz beat.
What would you say your most requested song is? It could be a jazz song or a non-jazz song.
Blues, maybe.
Blues, really?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, sometimes I'll be on a gig and they'll be asking me this, you know, play me this from Britney Spears or whatever. I'm not like, what? Do I look like someone plays Britney Spears music? You know, really strange questions, but you know, if I know the song, I'll try. You know, I'll say, okay, yeah. So where's the $100 tip?
Hey, you got it. You got to make a living somehow, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I have a new segment on the show called "One's Gotta Go." Would you be okay if we played that?
Okay.
All right. So the rules of this game are really, really simple. I'm going to list a few terms or things, and from the list, one has to go. Are you ready?
Okay.
For social media, we have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. One of those has to go.
Twitter.
For travel, we have trains, cars, boats, and planes.
Well, trains, cars, boats, or planes. Wow. Oh my God. I don't want to say trains, but trains.
I feel that. So for landmarks, we have the pyramids of Egypt, Chichen Itza, the Eiffel Tower, or the Great Wall of China.
Great Wall of China. China.
So for the planets, we have the planets in the solar system. So Mercury, Venus, Neptune, Uranus, Mars, Saturn, Earth, or Jupiter.
Uranus.
All right. For the news, we have TV, the newspaper, radio, or like digital news on your phone.
Oh. Ooh, man. Ooh. That's hard to do. Name the list again.
So we have TV, radio, the newspaper, or like digital news, what you get on your like phone.
The newspaper. I don't use the newspaper anymore.
I feel that. So now this one's gonna make people hungry. So eggs, bacon, pancakes, or cereal.
Eggs, bacon, or pancakes? Oh my God. I guess the pancakes will be the least.
And then this last one's gonna be hardest for you to answer because you're a musician. Drums, guitar, piano, or vocals.
Oh, drums, guitar, piano, or vocals. Oh my God. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, piano, I guess.
Is there any particular reason?
Well, I mean, a lot of songs have, the melody is the most important thing. A lot of people sing melodies,
Maybe I should make a
and the drums keep the rhythm,
true.
and the guitar can play harmony and melodies like a piano. It's just I don't want to eliminate the guitar. I have to go with the piano.
I think
Piano next.
no piano. Well, thank you for playing that one. What's your favorite quote? Or a quote that you like to live by?
Practice makes perfect.
I agree. It's so true. It's so true.
It's true.
Because if
people always want to take shortcuts with music. That's the problem.
I agree.
That's here's an interesting thing I want to talk to you about that I always talk about with guitar players. I had this on. It was actually like a debate. It was like a post I put up on TikTok and Instagram. I put up my guitars and I told them what strings I was using, and the guitar said, "Wow, man, you use really heavy strings." And I was like, "Really? This guitar has 14s on them."
Oh, okay.
So those are heavy. I mean, but they're not really heavy. Guitarists. Here's the problem. Guitarists are lazy. That's the problem these days.
In what way?
Well, they don't want to do the work to press the string.
Right.
So, I mean, I'll tell you a great story because I never realized this too, because I mean, I'm used to playing with, not crazy high action, but, good strings and, thick strings and
right.
Higher action and all that. One of my repairmen when I lived in Brooklyn, I was living in Brooklyn for a while. He was a great repairman. He moved to LA actually probably 6-7 years ago. He told me guitarists would come into the store with the lowest action and the thinnest strings and saying, "Look, the guitar strings are buzzing." And you know what? And he said to me, "You know why? Because your strings are too low, and your strings are too small, and your action is too low. You're not supposed to play a guitar with low action,
right,
and thin strings. You get no sound out of the guitar. It's like crazy. People don't want to do any work when they want to play the guitar anymore, for example."
So for people who may not be musicians, can you just explain real quick what is action and what do you mean by when you say you're playing 14s? Just to clarify for those people who may not be familiar with the lingo.
Yeah, so basically 14 strings are bigger strings, thicker strings. And when you play a thicker string, you have a bigger string, you have a bigger sound. Okay. And it's actually harder to press.
It is.
Physically. So a lot of people don't have the muscles because they don't work on pressing the string like they should.
Right.
Are you left-handed?
I do play left-handed guitars actually, but what's weird is I am right-handed.
Why do you play left-handed guitar if you're right-handed?
So I don't know. I think when I was little, I picked up the guitar. This hand is more coordinated, so I'm just able to switch between the chords faster. Which it's hard to find these guitars too. That's why I was asking about 7 strings.
Yeah. So basically, when you have lighter strings, it's just easier to press. But the thing is, a lot of people put the lighter strings and they put the string closer to the fret. Right. Just for the audience to know. So when you push closer to the fret, when you put the strings closer to the fret, there's a tendency the strings will make noise hitting the other frets called buzz. Like
I have it. I had it in one of these strings. There. That's buzz.
You probably have too low action.
Yeah.
And well, a lot of guitar players think like, wow, that's crazy. But that's how you get sound on the guitar. But when my guitar teacher, Bucky Pizzarelli, told me, he said to me one time, if your strings are buzzing, raise the action. That's what you do. I mean, it's really true though.
It is.
So anyway, that's a debate with guitarists I have sometimes. Like, it's like, no guitarist wants to do work.
Right.
They want to have easy guitars to play.
Exactly.
Because they just want to be able to pick up the guitar and not do any work. So, to be able to play any instrument, you got to have good sound and have good action and practice.
100%. 100%. So I have a question. So if there's people who are listening who might be new to guitar or are thinking about dabbling in guitar, since you teach, where would you recommend they start? Because there's so many things you can learn about the guitar. I know for me, I taught myself, so I learned just the simple bass chords and then I went from there. What would you recommend to somebody?
Well, the best thing to do is really get a teacher to help you. Not just, here's another thing I have a debate with people too, is people go to YouTube and look at all these videos and they still don't know how to play. That's the reason. Because you can only get so much from a video. The best way to really learn is actually have a teacher. So when I was a kid, I didn't have a real teacher, but I had friends who were good guitar players
Okay.
who could show me basic stuff. So you got to have somebody help you.
Right.
Because one problem is when people want to learn, they don't go to anybody. They want to just take the cheap way out and just go look on YouTube.
Exactly.
And then we go on YouTube, like, put the video, let me put the video. And we go, and it's better to have, oh shoot, man, that still doesn't sound good. What's going on? If you had a guitar teacher, they'd be like, what are you doing, man? Shh, yeah. Hit that. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? So,
Right.
So the best thing to do is get a teacher, and they don't, like someone to study with me, I give them certain books,
Right.
The Bay books or whatever, Bay method, or, the Berkeley method, the modern method for guitar for more older people. Depends what age you are too.
True.
I teach kids to like college.
And do you teach them the first thing that you teach them more so how to get comfortable with just like playing chords, or do you teach more so how to read to do like
No, I teach them how to hold the guitar first.
Okay.
If it's a kid, we teach them how to hold the guitar, the names of the strings, music staff.
Right.
And then we start showing them one at a time. We teach them how to hold a pick.
Right.
Teach them the first string is E. And you got to name the names of the strings.
Right.
You'd be surprised. A lot of guitar players that I get now, like that I meet on Instagram or YouTube and who want to study with me on TikTok, they don't know how to read.
Really?
Yeah, they don't know how to read notation without tabs.
Oh, see, I personally don't either. So I would be part of that group. I never learned how to read music.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is I can read sheet music and tabs, but actually I'm better at reading sheet music actually.
Right.
I can read notation. I can find the notes all over the neck. So when I teach, I was involved with this program through the musicians union. I'm in the musicians union here in New York, and we actually, I would go to elementary schools and teach kids how to play guitar.
Wow.
Inner city kids are poor,
Mhm.
can't get any lessons. So, really poor, some of these kids. So we teach, by the end of by let's say from November to March or April, these kids can read music and play and know notes on the guitar without any tabs.
Wow.
From the very beginning, how to read notation. This is E. They find it on the staff. F. They find it on the staff. G.
Wow.
Yeah. You can teach anybody that. You just got to start them the right way. But the only way you can do that is if you have a teacher. Because if you go to YouTube and go listen to your favorite band like Guns N' Roses or whatever, whoever, and just go get the tabs.
Yeah.
The problem is the tabs. The tabs are cool. I'm not saying not to use them because they're good for certain things. Like only way you can use tabs if you know what the song sounds like.
Right.
You don't have if you don't know what a song sounds like, the tabs don't help you because it's just notes. There's no rhythm. There's no context.
Right.
You read. There's a rhythm. There's all kinds of things. The chords, the timings, everything's there. The notes. So it's important to learn how to read. And I write for a magazine. Like that book I showed you.
Right.
Let me show you. This is and this article with Ben Harper on the cover.
Oh wow! Look at that.
I haven't. Yeah. I'm in this issue, and in my lesson, I'll find it here. But anyway, the lessons come with tabs.
Oh, look at that! That's awesome.
I mean, that's not my particular lesson. My lesson I gotta look for. Oh, here it is. This is mine. I just think about sweep picking.
Okay. What is a sweep picking?
Sweep picking is when you actually hit two or more adjacent strings in the same direction.
Okay.
You go like this. So
Wow.
when I do that, I'll use a sweep picking like this. I'm sweeping across.
Okay.
stuff. I'm sweeping like that in one direction. Sweeping, we
Interesting.
call it.
I've
Yeah,
personally not heard of that before. That's interesting.
yeah. There's a lot of picking techniques.
And I
You
have
know,
noticed too. Are you you're using smaller picks too? Because this is a standard pick, so it looks like you're using
no, I'm using
oh,
a
you are.
teardrop size.
You are okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought you were using one of those. I know Dunlop makes those little ones.
Oh yeah, no, I used to use those years ago, but I could never get speed. I had to switch.
Yeah, because they're you. I always find I'm dropping them. Oh my That's so satisfying to listen to. Just watching your fingers, like I was trying to learn the solo from oh gosh, Bohemian Rhapsody, and I couldn't get past the first note, let alone do what you just did. I mean, wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I love Brian May. That guy's great, man.
Yeah, he's got
When
a
I was growing up, they came out. I was like, what the hell? I was watching TV. I said, this band is wild, man. When they came out with Bohemian Rhapsody.
oh but the instrumental, like, I mean, as a band, just some of the riffs that they make and some of the style. Now, have you ever met any of the members of Queen?
No, never met them.
Okay.
No, I mean, I would love to. I mean, I love Brian May. He's like, when he came out, he has his own original sound.
Yeah,
I
he's got
follow
that
his
guitar.
Huh?
He's got that guitar too that has just that really clean tone to it.
Yeah, and he's like a nuclear physicist or some kind of weird, like he's like a really smart guy. But the thing is, I follow his YouTube channel and he has some really interesting stuff on there. He'll play something, he'll go, and he says, "Oh, that's what it's all about, making mistakes." That's what he said. They're like real short, they're shorts. They're called,
That's
like
funny.
they're like TikTok videos. TikTok videos are considered shorts on YouTube because on YouTube everything's long form.
Right.
So what happened was, I told you my Instagram page started taking off. So what happened was I started taking my TikTok videos, putting them on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. And what happened was I had like in December I had like about 1,600 subscribers, which is a lot. You think?
That is.
Okay, just think about it though. I started putting my TikToks on. I put on one a day because every day I put a TikTok usually. It's the first time like since July that I skipped a couple of days. I was burnt, man. So what happened was I started posting that. Guess how many subscribers I have now? That was December.
Since we're in March, I'm guessing like 9,500.
No, I have almost 14,000 now. Just because I put my TikTok videos up there, they love them.
Really?
Yeah. So and then I started, but you know what? So with YouTube, I'm trying to monetize.
Yeah.
You can only monetize with long videos because it's a different platform. They don't count shorts as watch time.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I start. I'm putting more long videos now.
Right.
So I'm only halfway there, but I mean I have a lot of subscribers now. I mean I have like almost 14,000. I gain like 1,000 a week.
Wow.
And they're like a dedicated fan base. They love my stuff. They buy my stuff.
Two apps I'm going to recommend to you. One of them I'm going to talk to you after the podcast about is Cameo, where you can do shout outs. But the second one is Twitch. It's a live streaming, and you could just kind of you can just live stream, play some songs, and you can see the chat, and people, and that's a great platform. You can also do that on TikTok, like TikTok lives. You can say, hey, I'm going to be on live for an hour and play some, jazz music.
YouTube, you do that too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I should start a Twitch channel. I mean, it's so hard to keep up with all these platforms.
True.
I mean, it's just a lot of work. I get a lot of comments now. I have so many followers, I can't keep up with all the comments. I want to be able to respond.
Right.
YouTube alone, I get like 40, 50 comments every day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, and it's just like really nuts. And of course, Instagram and TikTok, I have tons of comments. So I
That's
want to go into Twitch too, but it's like another platform that I don't know if I have time to keep up with.
true. I mean, just an hour a day or an hour or two a day. I'm looking up your YouTube right now. Oh, look at that. And you just upload the shorts. Man, and you're getting like great views too. Like really good views.
I know.
Wow. So people, I guess advice from Ron Jackson, upload your TikTok videos to YouTube.
And you put hashtag shorts.
Hashtag shorts.
Yeah. Yeah, like shorts that you're wearing.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, you upload shorts. No, you put hashtag shorts in the title.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
One of my friends who's a drummer actually, who's on TikTok, but I've known him for a long time. He's a great drummer. He we were talking about YouTube because he has a more he actually monetizes. He doesn't make that much, but
right.
But he said that he contacted YouTube, like someone at YouTube, like they said to put shorts in the. And so it's important to put hashtags in your titles.
Is it?
Yeah, because it actually attracts more viewers when it's in the title. Like about the subject you're in, like let's say 7-string guitar. So I'll put that hashtag on the title, and it attracts more viewers. And people can actually see that and hit that hashtag. When they hit the hashtag, it's interesting actually. It's a new thing actually on YouTube.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna because I upload stuff from obviously It's Not So Late show, and I upload clips onto TikTok and Instagram. I'm gonna try uploading some of the clips from our show onto YouTube, and I'm gonna use your method there and see if that works. Because that's the first I've been told of that.
Yeah. Put the shorts on there, but make sure you try to post every day, just like you do on TikTok. I mean, that's what I try to do on TikTok.
Right.
I mean, it's a lot of work sometimes. That's why I repost old stuff because I can't like. The videos I do, they take at least an hour or two just to edit everything.
Right. Yeah, you have good production value on yours. Mine luckily are a little quicker, but when you have production value on yours, yeah, it takes a long time. Now I do have a quick question on the head of your guitar here. You have something right in between the strings. What is that?
Oh, that's to put my GoPro camera.
Oh, do you do like GoPro videos?
Yeah, I do it right onto, and you can see some of them on my YouTube. Some of my performance videos, I'll film myself playing like this angle, and it looks really cool.
That's cool.
I have a GoPro 9. It's really good.
How are those new ones?
They're great, man.
Are they?
You put this mic on directly on it. It sounds really amazing.
Oh wow, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, actually, you reminded me. I got to do some stuff like that. But yeah, I have a GoPro camera for that, and I do all kinds of stuff with social media, and like that, like different kinds of filming angles, and I have tons and tons of material,
Right.
To be able to post. That I don't, it takes so much time just to be able to post this stuff.
True. Now, Ron, I had a quick question here before we head off here. Do you have anything you want to end with? Any last final message? Any quote? Any word of advice for our listeners?
No, just quote. Just follow me.
Hey, that works.
Support musicians. I've been sitting at home, not with no job.
Right.
And, if you want to go to my website, and I have a sale right now. 25. Use code 25K, and you get 25% off my website.
Awesome.
Follow me on all the platforms. Instagram, TikTok, all at Ron Jackson Music.
Awesome.
YouTube. What else? I mean, my albums. I haven't shown you my new album yet.
Ooh.
This is my latest album. Standards and Other Songs. It's on my website. It's on YouTube. It's on iTunes, everywhere if you want to get a copy or listen to it, or follow me on Spotify, everywhere.
Is it called Ron Jackson? The album?
Ron Jackson, Standards and Other Songs.
Standards and Other Songs. Awesome. Guys, you heard it here. Go listen to Ron Jackson's new album.
Yeah, it's also on TikTok. If you search TikTok.
What is?
It's a sound on TikTok. I have most of my albums are on TikTok, actually. I use them on actually, when you heard the Guitar Center, when you saw the Guitar Center the Guitar Center post, that song playing was me from TikTok.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that's actually a sound I found on TikTok.
Really? I'm
on TikTok. Just go on there. My sounds are on TikTok.
I'm going to go check that out. Well, thank you so much, Ron, for joining us here. And thank you for listening.